Welcome, financial algebra parents, guardians, adults at home. I'm Mr. Cortez here talking about financial algebra for your student. I've been lucky enough to teach math courses for the past 7 years. This is my second year at Lower Merion in particular. Prior to being here, I was at Drexel Hill or in Drexel Hill and Springfield. Lovely places. Over the summer, I made this typo. I didn't bike from New York to Philly. I actually went from Boston to New York. It was a great route. If you want the Strava link or the route that I took, let me know. I'll email it to you. Speaking of email, you can find my email down here. Shoot me an email if you have a question, comment, concern, something to throw my way. I will most likely get back to you within 48 hours or so. What else is about financial algebra? Let's see. Some topics that we cover are as follows. We talk about budgets. That's how we open up the year, figuring out what our cash flow could look like. We do an awesome project that talks about 10 years from now, what our students' lives could look like, how much money they have coming in, what expenses they need to cover, bills that they need to pay, what money they're designating for entertainment, this, that, and the other. We also talk about stocks. We have a stock project later on in the year with hypothetical money that we put in to select stocks and see who can make the most amount of money off of what they're given. We chat businesses, we chat trends, why selling a pair of shoes in 10 years might be more profitable than selling them in 5. We also talk supply and demand, and much, much more. Last year, we did a small portion on crypto. We dived into that together. I still can't quite explain it super well, but I think I learned a little bit out of it, okay? How are we gonna understand this content? We will be taking a look at some labs on Desmos, which helps students interact with material, try some examples, and I can give feedback accordingly. My classroom is structured in tables, so I'm always a fan of cooperative work. We're all in this together. I'm also a fan of independent work, whether in class or outside of class, working on material. Occasionally, we'll have mastery checks, which is a way for me to touch base with students and make sure that they understand what they're doing before they move forward. This could take on a variety of formats. Conversations have been the most frequent one, where a student will take a look at some new topic that they're exploring and we'll have a conversation about it. And I'll say, all right, you know what you're talking about. You know the difference between an asset and a liability. Chances are you're good to move forward. We also take a look at some readings, some videos. We'll also be taking a look at some podcasts down the road too. Those are fun. I wanted to highlight in particular about these mastery checks. So this won't come up a ton in this class in comparison to the other ones I teach, but I just wanted to make a note on how it works. It's mastery learning, how this works. Let me share this other screen. Tell you what students look at to try and build understanding on material. Okay, so what do we have here? We have a mission tracker list. Students are given this almost every week to try and chart their understanding. Students can see we start with objectives, and then we have a variety of tasks along the way to build that understanding. So for example, in this first week, the goal was to use the tools needed to be successful in class and also get to know me. Think of these as points, but also think of these as levels of understanding. Ideally, 5 stars is better than 3. Having deep understanding about a topic is a lot better than having basic understanding about a topic. So notice that I'm always pushing for students to do a little bit more, to have some deep understanding, to really show they understand what they're talking about before they move to the next thing. Although this was the introductory week, you can see that students can kind of chart their progress accordingly. Like, do I really just want to settle for basic understanding on something? No, you would want to go maybe do a little bit more. Um, I'm, of course, there to help students as they work through this course. If you have any questions, you can reach out. Financial algebra is an awesome course that I think teaches a lot of real world applicative topics that I don't think normally get enough shine in mathematics courses. If you have any questions about the course, how assessments work, let me know. We offer pretty regular tests every chapter or so. So those are coming down the pike. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Talk soon.